Daniel Orson here from New York Vintners. We are beyond excited tonight to welcome Michael Polenske, owner and founder of Blackbird Vineyards, for a three-course wine dinner. If you're not familiar with Blackbird, founded in 2003, and since that time have really set the standard for what is elegance in California Merlot and Bordeaux-based blends. But Michael, welcome to New York Vintners.
Sure, it's good to be here.
Hey, we are happy to have you. So first off, though, how did you initially get into wine?
It's a great question. I ask myself that all the time. My passion for it started when I was in college, and my roommates and I spent a lot of time tasting wines and doing dinners and verticals and horizontals and did the whole thing. When I graduated from college, I studied finance and I had studied wine, and my first business plan was to do financial planning and financial advisory work for people in the wine industry. That's where I started. But as they say, if you want to see God laugh, tell them your plans. And Silicon Valley kind of took off at that time, and I ended up spending more time in Silicon Valley than in Napa Valley because there was a lot of wealth creation. So that spent the next 20 years doing that, and then finally circled back when I found the Blackbird Vineyard in 93, or 2003, excuse me.
Very cool. Blackbird, it's an interesting concept. Small production, high quality fruit. What was the inspiration for that? And is it still in the same direction? How do you think things are?
Yeah, I think almost entirely in the same direction. In finding the vineyard, I really wasn't looking to kind of start a project. I was running private banking for Chase Manhattan. I was president and CEO of Chase H&Q at the time, and found this vineyard and had a great little pedigree behind it. And really, what I had been looking for was a house on a hill with a pool. But then when I understood what I had and started doing some research on it, it became quite clear that this was a special vineyard. It already had great reviews. It didn't have a brand, so I created the brand, and with the thought to keep it in small production. We developed a kind of a more approachable price point on one of our wines that we'll have tonight called Rise. And that has been incredibly successful. So the growth that we see in the brand will come out of that one particular wine. But the Collector Series, the illustration, the Paramour, and the Contrarian, that production stays relatively the same.
Where does your inspiration sort of come from? Was there a region in the world that inspired you?
You know, I grew up, my mom's full-blooded Italian, so I grew up with wine at the table, so that was probably my early roots, but nothing fancy, nothing special. I couldn't tell you any of the labels. But it was really college is when I started to really understand it. At that point, Jordan was really getting a name for itself, so the Jordan Cabernet was probably one of the very first ones that really caught my attention, and it went from there.
So we at the store, we love wine. If you could enjoy a bottle of wine with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Gosh, good question. If it was somebody that was not currently alive, it would probably be Thomas Jefferson.
Anyway, very cool.
Since he kind of brought it to our country and introduced it.
William and Mary Greg. I gotta give my shout at him. TJ.
So I mean, he probably was one of the most influential in introducing it to our country.
Very cool.
So if it was living, I don't know. There's a lot of people.
Wonderful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We really have an incredible dinner set up. Michael, I'm excited to taste the wine.
Thank you.
So is our group at New York Vintners. It's where things are happening. We look forward to seeing all of you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers.